Hey friends, welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. Real quick, before we get into this week's What's for Dinner, I wanted to mention that this week's video is a collab with my friend Tiffany over at Small Town 6. I've done some collabs with her in the past, so some of you may know her, but if you don't, go over and check out her channel. It will be linked in the description box down below. She does What's for Dinners, grocery hauls, other recipe videos. So if you like those kinds of things, I know that you will like her channel. So go over there and check her out. I've got a bunch of yummy food coming up in this video, so make sure you stay tuned. Any recipes that I mention will be linked down below. Now let's go ahead and get into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor and it's very rare that I start these videos off with my face. Usually we just get right into the food, but today I'm actually not cooking dinner. It is October 1st for us right now and I've lost track of time and not put up Halloween decorations when usually we do it super early. So today, with it being October 1st, I was like, okay, we're gonna get outside, get our decorations up, because most of what we do is outside. We like to make our house look super spooky. So the kids and I spent a good 3 hours in the front yard. We mowed the grass, we trimmed the plants around the front door, and then we put up all our decorations. I'll insert some pictures of that here. Super fun, super spooky, but after all that, we were tired, and I was like, I'm not cooking. We're gonna go inside, shower, and I originally said we were gonna order pizza, but then I found out that Andy had pizza at work today for lunch. Andy's my husband, if you don't know. But he had pizza at work because he was working and his boss bought lunch. So he had that and he was like, I don't really want pizza. And I was like, okay, how about Chinese? So I ordered Chinese from our favorite place. I'm gonna show you guys what we got. Okay, if you are new here, us eating out is a very rare occurrence. We don't do it very often, but sometimes you just want to eat out. And I like to share everything that we eat for dinner, keep it real life, because I feel like it just kind of really shows who we are. Like, everybody eats out every once in a while, and it's okay. And it's okay to eat out and then pick back up on your meal plan the next day. You don't have to be discouraged by the fact you ate out, you spent extra money. It's okay every once in a while. So that's why I share the real life when we eat out, and then I also share the fails when I make fails. So if you do like those kinds of things, you like the real life kind of videos, make sure you subscribe down below, because that's what we're all about over here. So this is our dinner. It's come from a Chinese restaurant called China Cooks. We've been ordering from there for ever. I remember my stepdad ordering from there when I was in middle school. So we've been eating there forever. Andy wanted the house fried rice, so that's what he got. It's super delicious. And then I got General Tso chicken, which is spicy, and then I decided to try their lo mein. Never had it before. Usually I just get white rice or fried rice, but you know, sometimes I want to try something different. So I got their lo mein to try today. And then my meal comes with 1 chicken on a stick, and then we also got a free chicken on a stick, because they always have a coupon. If you spend a certain amount, you get something for free. So it also came with the free chicken on a stick. And then the kids got an order of chicken on a stick, so there's 4 more in there for them. And then they got just plain fried rice. Yum yum, plain fried rice. And then I got 2 pork egg rolls. And I'm just not realizing I was also supposed to have an egg drop soup, I think, and I don't have that, so that's a bummer. Not that I would really be able to eat it, but I did pay for it, so it's a bummer that I didn't get it. Yeah, that is going to be dinner for Friday. We're gonna watch a scary movie and eat dinner. Okay, it is Saturday night, and tonight I'm making the cilantro lime tilapia that I was supposed to make last night. My oven is currently coming up to 425. I'm getting it preheated. Y'all are gonna be like, Taylor, this is so easy. Why didn't you want to make this last night? And last night I just wanted straight up no effort after spending so much time out in the sun. So this is cilantro lime tilapia. To go with it, I am making cilantro lime rice. I've already made some white rice in my Instant Pot. I will leave that video link down below. And then all you have to do is add 2 tablespoons of lime juice, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and 3 tablespoons of fresh chopped cilantro, and then salt and pepper to taste, to some cooked white rice. That's literally it. And you need like about 1.5 to 2 cups of cooked white rice. And add that stuff, stir it all around, season it to taste, and that's it. It's super easy and it's delicious. So I will have that link down below. I'm not going to show me making it because I've shown it many times. Oven is preheated. So I'm going to get to working on this fish. To go with it, besides the rice, we're also going to have one of these cans of Mexican style corn that I picked up from Aldi. I'm just going to heat that up on the stove. So for this fish, I have some sour cream. I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons of sour cream. And I'm going to mix that together with a little bit of lime juice. I think I'm going to do about a teaspoon of lime juice. And then I'm going to use the rest of this lime juice for that rice. So a teaspoon of lime juice. Mix that together. And then I'm going to brush this onto the tilapia. Just a thin layer. Not as much as I usually use when I do like a Parmesan crusted tilapia. Because we're just using seasoning for this tonight. I am using this Tones cilantro lime seasoning blend. This is like $5 at Sam's Club. It is much more expensive if you have to order it from Amazon. So I highly recommend seeing if you can find it in stores before ordering it from Amazon. It is so good though. We like it in that other recipe. What's it called? The creamy cilantro lime chicken pasta or shrimp pasta. Those are really good. So I'm just going to get this sour cream on this fish and then sprinkle the seasoning all over. And then this is going to go at 425, like I said, for about 15 minutes till the fish is done. So I served the tilapia on top of the rice with the can of Mexican corn from Aldi over top of it for myself, and then just everything kind of separate for the kids. This honestly wasn't our favorite recipe. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't our favorite. I feel like the tilapia would have been better with that seasoning had I fried it in a pan, so I might try that in the future. Sunday night I made calzones. So I started off with the pizza dough that I made last week, and I will also have the blog where I found this recipe down below. I always use the same pizza dough recipe, and I did double it this time so that I would have enough dough to make 8 calzones because I wanted us to each have one for dinner and have enough to heat them up for leftovers the next day. So once my dough was ready and risen, I just separated it into 8 balls that were about the same size so that I could get 8 calzones. And then I took each ball and laid it flat and rolled it out into a circle shape. And this takes practice because folding up a calzone can be difficult. If you get the sauce leaked out, you'll mess up. So the first one that I did that I'm showing you now, the sauce leaked out and then the dough wouldn't stick together and it was just a pain. Yeah, so I showed you that one to show that you do get better over time. So for the last couple of them, they came out perfect. I rolled them out into circles. I put on a little bit of sauce, making sure to stay away from the edge so that I had enough room to seal it together. And then I put on my toppings. I did some pepperoni and salami on this last one. Some of them had pepperoni only, some of them had pepperoni and ham, and then some of them had salami. So I put on those toppings. You could do whatever you want. And then I do some cheese, and then I fold it over, making sure to press it together and not touch the sauce. And then you kind of rolled it and fold it over to seal it even better like a calzone, and then you transfer it to your baking sheet. And then once they were all folded up, I brushed them with some olive oil, sprinkled them with some Parmesan cheese, and then cut a little slit in the top. And then these went in the oven for about 15 minutes on 475. And here's how they looked when they came out. These turned out delicious. Even the ones that I didn't fold like properly and seal properly were still great. The stuff didn't leak out too bad. And we just served these with some fresh veggies and like salad on the side. And the ones the next day that I reheated for lunch, I just left them on that sheet pan and covered it with foil and like stuck it in the oven while the oven preheated. And it took like 20 minutes to heat them up. And they were great as leftovers. Monday night we had chili. I made a big crock pot full of our favorite chili recipe, and I actually shared this in a vlog on Friday. I never knew that a chili recipe video could make somebody so mad till I posted that video on Friday. It made somebody real mad in the comments. Don't worry if you see those comments, that person has been blocked. But yeah, if you are interested, I will have that video linked down below. It is Tuesday night, and tonight for dinner I am doing a variation on my cheddar crusted chicken. I will have that original recipe linked down below. For it you need like sour cream, some seasoning, some panko breadcrumbs, and some cheese. So instead of sour cream today, what I am doing is using this everything bagel dip that I got at Aldi. I didn't love it as a dip. It's Greek yogurt based with like everything seasoning in it, and as I said, I just didn't love it. It was kind of plain, kind of mostly just tastes like sour cream with a little bit of everything bagel seasoning. One of y'all actually sent me a recipe for a bagel dip and it has cream cheese in it, and I think that'll be way better. But since this is just so similar to sour cream, I'm going to use this in place of the sour cream that I would usually spread across the chicken. You don't have to use this, but I thought it would be a good way to use this up since I didn't love it. I tried it with like cucumbers, I tried it with crackers. I'm just not a fan, but I don't want it to go to waste, so I thought it would be good in this recipe. And then I usually mix together some panko breadcrumbs with some cheese. So we're gonna do panko and cheddar cheese, and then I'm also gonna add a little bit of everything bagel seasoning to that. And I'm gonna season the chicken all over first with a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we brush on our sour cream, and then we top it with the panko and the cheese mixture that's mixed with the everything bagel seasoning. And then I've got my oven preheated to 425, and this takes anywhere from between 15 to 20 minutes to cook. It's really going to depend on like the thickness of your chicken. I like to take my chicken breasts and cut them in half horizontally so they're thinner, and then it usually takes closer to like 15 minutes. So that's what I have done here. And then to go with it, why is my camera not focusing? There it goes. Okay, to go with it, we've got some broccoli. I've seasoned this with some olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and that is it. And then for my potatoes, I'm going to do my potatoes in my air fryer. Finally got my replacement air fryer, which you saw if you saw the vlog the other day. But yes, super happy to be back air frying foods. And on the potatoes, I've got some olive oil, garlic powder, paprika, salt, and the Cavender's seasoning. I have been liking putting that on stuff, so I thought we would try it on potatoes today. But those will go in the air fryer on like 375 for about 20 minutes. Broccoli is probably going to take about 20 minutes at 425 in the oven. This was delicious. All of it. Every last bit of it was delicious. But I wouldn't say that having that everything but the bagel dip is completely necessary. I think you can accomplish the same thing with just the sour cream like I usually do and some everything but the bagel seasoning. So that is what I will be doing when I make it in the future. But it was very, very good. It is Wednesday night, and tonight for dinner we are having spaghetti, and Lily actually requested that we have spaghetti squash. So I got a spaghetti squash here. We're going to bake it in the oven. I've shown this before, but it's been quite a while. You have to cut this thing in half, which can be difficult. You need a big, sharp knife. I've heard you can microwave it for like a few minutes beforehand to kind of soften it. But I can't remember if I've ever done that. I'm not going to do it today. I'm just going to cut it in half with this big, sharp knife because this usually works. And it's not too big of a one. Sometimes when they're really big, they're a little bit harder to cut into. But this one isn't too terribly big. So I'm going to get it cut in half and then scrape out the insides. It's going to go in the oven on 400 for about 45 minutes. I will scoop out the insides, drizzle it with some olive oil, and sprinkle on some salt and pepper. I am still going to make like regular spaghetti noodles, and then for our meat sauce, I'm actually going to use sausage tonight instead of ground beef. See, it's a little difficult, but it can get in there. That stem part is really difficult. So sometimes I bang it on the counter and make the dog mad. Okay, it's cut open. Oh, I also forgot to mention, it goes face down on the pan. And you're also going to want to poke some holes like in the back side of it. Okay, you might hear my meat and stuff cooking in the background, working on that, but this is done. It was in the oven for 45 minutes, so now we just have to turn it over carefully without burning ourselves and shred the inside. So kind of hold it with something and then use a fork, and you see it's like noodles. So I'm really the only one that likes this just by itself. Andy has eaten it by itself before, but he prefers it just like mixed in with noodles. And then you don't eat like as much noodles, you get some vegetable in there too. And that's the way Lily likes it as well. I'm not sure if Elijah's going to try it again. In the past he hasn't liked it. He might try some on the side just to see how he likes it. But yeah, so once everything is done, I will make everybody's plates. Some of us will have this and some of us won't. And here's what dinner looked like. Elijah did not want to try the spaghetti squash, so he did not try any. And then me and Lily both had spaghetti squash and noodles. And Andy did not want spaghetti squash this night, so he just ate noodles. It is Thursday night, and tonight for dinner we are having Crockpot Cubans. This recipe comes from a blog called The Land of 10,000 Recipes. Somebody shared it on Pinterest that they really, no, somebody shared it on Instagram that they really liked it. And I thought it sounded delicious. I love Cuban sandwiches, but it's something that I've never made at home, and like this isn't gonna be an authentic Cuban sandwich at all, but I think it's still gonna have like the right flavors and stuff. So I'm really excited to try this. I've been looking forward to it all week. So here in the crock pot I have a boneless pork loin. This is one of the end pieces that usually has a lot of fat on the bottom side. I trimmed off a lot of that, not all of it, but I did trim off a lot of it. Just to, you know, not have too much fat in it. The recipe says to use a 2-pound boneless pork shoulder. But I'm using this loin because it's what I have on hand. And I believe this is about 2 pounds. I cut it off of a big loin that I got at Sam's Club. So to this, first I have 5 cups of chicken broth. I did 5 cups of water with 5 teaspoons of the Knorr chicken bouillon. You know, I always do that if you have been here for a while. So because I use the Knorr chicken bouillon, I am going to omit the salt from the recipe. It calls for a half a teaspoon of salt, but this stuff can be a little salty, so I'm just going to omit the salt, and I will taste it at the end. If it needs salt, then I will add it. Then I've got 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire and half a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. I've got half a cup of apple cider vinegar. And then this is 1 tablespoon of the sauce from a can of chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. That's what this is, just 1 tablespoon of the sauce. So I've got like the whole can left. If you guys have any recommendations for that, let me know. It's got a nice like smoky taste, which I think is why it's added to this. I think I'm gonna throw this like in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer. So if you have any recommendations for me to do with this, let me know down below. And then for seasonings, in here I have measured out 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of pepper. And then I would have half a teaspoon of salt, but as I said, I was leaving that out. So I'm going to dump that in here and then give everything a stir, kind of mix it around, get this stuff mixed in. And then this is going to cook, it says on low for 4 to 5 hours. I feel like it's going to take longer than that. And then it says 3 to 4 hours on high. I think I'm going to put mine on high and just see how it does, since I will be home all day. And turn it down to low or warm if I need to. But I want to make sure it gets cooked through. And usually a pork loin for other recipes for me takes longer, but maybe it's because I usually don't have this much liquid, and this is a lot of liquid that it's cooking in, so that'll probably help it cook faster. I don't know, I guess. But I am going to put it on high and see how it does. Okay, it has been 6 hours. I let this cook on high for 3, and then I turned it down to low for another 3 because it was really like boiling. It was bubbling like crazy after 3 hours. So I turned it down to low, and it is done. The recipe says to take this out, shred it up, and then add the pork back to the crock pot. But honestly, I feel like that's gonna be like too much liquid in there. So what I'm gonna do is add the pork to my KitchenAid, shred it up with the little like beater attachment, and then I think I will spoon some of the liquid into this bowl to get it like a little moist, not too much liquid in there. Yeah, this is shredding nicely with just these tongs, so I am not even going to use the KitchenAid for this because it is doing a nice job. Thank you, Elijah. Of just shredding easily with these tongs. And it smells delicious in here. The house has been smelling so good all day. I know this is going to be really good. Where are you going?
I don't want to drink.
Okay. I'm struggling with this. I don't know, guys. Is it going to be too much liquid? I'm just going to add this back to the crock pot. I know I said otherwise. Oh, careful when you shred stuff in a metal bowl, because the metal bowl gets really hot. But I know I said I wasn't going to do it this way, but after shredding it, it looks like a lot of meat now. So I think we'll be fine Just adding it to the crock pot. If not, I'll just drain off some of the liquid. Okay, so to assemble our sandwiches, I just heated a little bit of oil in my cast iron pan, and then I toasted our ciabatta bread like face side down, let that get a little bit toasty. And then for my sandwich, I put on some mayonnaise and some like stone ground mustard, a slice of Swiss cheese, and a pickle, and then I layered on the pork. And then I closed up my sandwich and let that cheese get melty and let it like kind of toast the outside of the sandwich a little bit. And then the kids don't really like Swiss cheese, and they definitely don't like the stone ground mustard very much. So I toasted their sandwich a little bit and then just put on a little bit of mayo. And then they used provolone cheese instead of Swiss cheese. And they had the pork, of course. This turned out delicious. They were so good. I would highly recommend this recipe. I will definitely have it linked down below for you guys. It does make a ton of food. I don't really want a bunch of Cuban sandwiches, so I don't know what I'm going to do with the leftover meat yet, but I'm definitely going to freeze it and figure out something to use it for. But it was very tasty. We just had it with some tater tots on the side. And that is going to be it for another week of What's for Dinner. Don't forget, as I mentioned at the beginning, this was a collab with my friend Tiffany over at Small Town 6, so make sure you check out her link down below and go get some more dinner ideas. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!